If you clicked on this video, you most likely already know about Rimworld. It's a colony management game that will eventually make you turn the Geneva Convention into the Geneva Suggestion. There are lots of videos on YouTube with Rimworld gameplay, but today I wanted to start a series regarding the Rimworld lore. While maybe not readily apparent, Rimworld has a pretty good world building aspect to it, and the lore behind a lot of the in-game elements can be pretty interesting. Some of it can be found through the flavor text of various items, which can help us create a more complete picture, while other parts leave much to the imagination. The main source I will be using for these videos will be the Rimworld wiki, which has done a fantastic job piecing up lore from various flavor texts from the game and published documents. Another source I will be using will be the Cryptosleep briefing. For those unaware, the Cryptosleep briefing is a document released by Tynan, developer of the game, in order to provide lore to the game. So let's start with the Rimworld saying, the most important part of any type of universe lore. Rimworld takes place in the future, around the year 5500. Humankind has managed to colonize countless planets, but a core distinction from Rimworld and other science fiction settings is this: faster than light traveling has never been discovered. Despite the gigantic technological advancements that humankind went through, including the ability to bring people back from the dead through the use of extensively complicated nanites and medical systems, a method to travel faster than the speed of light was never developed, which caused space travel to become rather peculiar, an occurrence that most people will never experience in their lifetime, and those who do will likely only experience it once or twice, as traveling from one planet to another can take hundreds if not even thousands of years, depending on the distance, meaning that most of these voyages will be a one-time trip, as there likely wouldn't be a life to return back to. For the purpose of space traveling and avoiding to die of old age or boredom, space travelers are put to sleep in cryptosleep caskets. These caskets are able to preserve human life for an undetermined amount of time, while their occupants will sleep for an undetermined amount of time as well, awakening only when prompted by an external input, be it an automated system, an AI, or another human. While in-game pawns can release themselves from cryptosleep caskets, this is most likely due to an automated input as far as the lore goes, since pawns found in ancient vaults are unable to leave at will, except when prompted by another pawn. While it might take hundreds of years to reach their destination, the spaceships will still require a pilot to operate. In this case, the pilot will be a highly advanced AI, housed inside a persona core, a piece of technology that acts as a host for a highly intelligent computer, whose goal will be to navigate the spaceship and keep the occupants safe while trying to reach the intended destination. While faster than light traveling speed hasn't been achieved, the best next thing to facilitate space traveling is the Johnson-Tanaka drive. With a minimum of 3 of these engines required to take off and travel through space, the Johnson-Tanaka drive, likely taking its name from its inventor, it's an engine fully capable of putting an entire spaceship in motion through the stars. The final component that was necessary to achieve space traveling feat for humanity was a power source capable of maintaining the engines and the entire spaceship running through space for many years. An uranium-based reactor, whose power is so immense that the simple action of starting up will take 15 uninterrupted days of labor, releasing an energy signature so big that it will be detectable across an entire planet. Now, if we are to analyze said reactor in-game, its energy output will be equivalent to 1000 watts, which in truth is really not that much. In comparison, that is the same energy output provided by a wood-fire generator, meaning that the main purpose of the reactor is not to provide a gigantic amount of energy, rather to provide a constant and steady one for hundreds if not even thousands of years, without ever stopping or requiring any type of refueling. Cryptosleep caskets, after all, they don't require power in order to function, so it's likely that both the engines and the AI wouldn't require much power themselves, as a mere amount of a steady 1000 watts seems to be enough to power them. But how could engines like this allow for space travel, you ask? Well, the Cryptosleep briefing document explains briefly how the Johnson-Tanaka drive works, which I will now quote. The Johnson-Tanaka drive, a spacecraft drive system that works without reaction mass. This means it doesn't need to throw gas out of the back of the craft to accelerate like a rocket, which makes it possible to accelerate for years at a time. This technology combined with cryptosleep is what made interstellar travel at all feasible for living humans. The drive doesn't violate conservation laws. It works by transferring momentum to nearby stars along precisely aligned beams of momentum waves instantiated in exotic virtual particles. Now, I am in no way capable of fully understanding the meaning behind this, as the explanation is based on a theoretical piece of technology. If you were to ask for my personal take on it, I would say that, in simple words, the Johnson-Tanaka drive is capable of harnessing the momentum through gravity from nearby planets and stars and release it to propel itself forward over a certain trajectory. A way to visualize this could be a stone in a slingshot, where the rock in the slingshot will be the spaceship, while the rubber band will be the gravitational momentum harnessed by the engine. By releasing it all at once, the spaceship will be slingshotted forward in space towards the closest star or planet, repeating the process once again. This was the first episode on my Rimworld lore series. In the next episode, I will go in depth about Rimworld xenogenetics, the closest thing to aliens that the Rimworld universe has, so stay tuned for that one. If you would like to see more from this series, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing and it motivates me to create more similar content. Have a good night.